So guys, welcome back to the More Life Podcast, episode 13. Short and sweet, little Q&A from the people on the Instagram. So yeah, we've picked out the most suitable questions that I feel like we could dive quite deep into. Any other ones that we've not answered, I'll give you guys a personal message and we'll go deep into that. But the first question that we're going to start with is, what is a key bit of business advice you would tell your younger self? Kale, you start.
Key bit of business advice in terms of like growing the business.
Any, mate.
Any
fucking
advice.
hell. Don't think into it.
Younger self, I would say as quickly as you can, invest in yourself in terms of getting a mentor. Because for a long while, I had an ego and I thought I could do it myself and I could definitely grow my business and scale my business myself. And as soon as I got a mentor, I was like, fucking, I don't even have a fitness business. I don't even have, shout out Chris Bradley, upgraded coach. But I don't even have a fitness business. Like compared to what I got shown when I invested in a mentor, it's allowed me to have much more of a future and vision of where my business is going to go now than I did before when I was doing it myself. So I would say the biggest piece of advice for me is invest in yourself or invest in your business in order to scale it.
Yeah, but younger self, probably, the person that asked that probably means like,
No, like,
younger as in like early teens, probably.
yeah, well, as soon as I had enough money, I would have put that into to invest in myself. I mean, like a good mentor is like maybe like 8 to 10 grand for a year. It's only £800 a month. It's not that much money. Like if you're like, I could have afforded that.
Fall out your arse when you were 12, mate.
What is the question? What would you ask you? What would you tell your 13-year-old self about a business?
Younger self, I took as it being like,
Well, when I was 18, I was starting my business.
right, cool, fair enough.
Invest in yourself as soon as you can.
I would say the thing that stands, one thing, hundreds of key bits of business advice, right? But I think one of the biggest things that stands out to me is networking.
Yeah.
See, if you're younger and you actually actively network, mate, see the amount of fucking people that you could connect with and then in later life have the ability to utilize them as a business acquaintance or contact or, yeah, crazy. So if I could say one piece of business advice to my younger self, picking my arse, wanking daily, playing fucking Fortnite, networking.
Could I add a wee bonus one? Because I get like, so I've seen recently about your network is good, right? But your brand is more important. So I would say I would tell him to think more about his brand and his coaching model and how he's gonna create a brand that people can attach themselves to. That would probably be one of the key piece of advice as well.
Sick. Question number 2. If you could become a millionaire tomorrow, would you? If so, why? If not, why not?
So, what could I don't know. So, like, if someone just said, "Here's fucking 10 million,"
Just take it for what the fucking question is.
yeah, I don't like. Probably a big part of me would say no, because I want to be able to work for it and get it, and I actually love the process of not being where I want to be and chasing that. Because when you get to where you want to be, obviously you're gonna want more. But when we become millionaires, it's just gonna be like, fucking hell, this is like we're millionaires. It's not. I love the process of working towards it. So a big part of me would say no. But then another part of me would say fucking hell, like millions, because we could turn it into billions in the next 10 years. So a bigger part of me would say no.
Yeah, I know. Immediately I would say, obviously, yes, because who the fuck would want to be a millionaire tomorrow? But with the people that I've spoken to, the millionaires that I have in my network that I've spoken to, I know that there'll be a level of fulfillment through like your own hardship and getting to it and achieving it yourself that you would never have if you were just a millionaire tomorrow. So immediately, yes, that would be class, but realistically, no, because as well, once you become a millionaire, yeah, you could try and have tens or hundreds of millions or be a billionaire, but once you're a millionaire, you've kind of made it financially and thinking about the freedom you have access to whatever you want.
No, you have.
So once you're a millionaire, you really have kind of fucking won the game.
Yeah,
so
fully.
at 23 years old, would I need to be a millionaire tomorrow? Would it probably benefit the whole span of my life? Nah. I'd say by the time I'm 30, I've bought anything I want, and do you know what I mean? I'm probably ready to die at fucking 40, mate.
You'd be more inclined to say yes straight away if there's a part of you that doubted the fact you're going to be a millionaire, but there's not one single bit of me that doubts that we're going to be very successful financially. So
yeah, because touching on millionaire as well, it's interesting because people might listen to us talking about becoming millionaires and think we're going to make millions off of our fucking sports therapy and PT business.
No.
I disagree. I don't think that's where I'm going to make my millions at all. The cool thing is as well, me and Kale only make money by providing value and actually having a service that works, which is also sick. So if we did make millions from our fucking businesses, then we've changed a lot of lives in the process. But I believe that I'm going to make enough money to start to invest with the money I make from the sports therapy business and do enough active networking to meet enough contacts to have investment opportunities and open up opportunities through my network and obviously then open up other businesses, because you think about the business principles that you need to apply to scale a business. If we can do it with one, we can do it with many other in different industries. So yeah, I wouldn't become a millionaire tomorrow because I actually quite enjoy the fucking graft and the grind and the self-accomplishment that I already feel from where I've came in the last year. I can only imagine just waking up tomorrow having millions of pounds. It would be class, but I think the novelty would definitely wear off.
Yeah, I agree.
Third question. All these questions that we've picked are actually fucking class, man. How to get out of the rat race slash matrix and find your passion and steps to make a career out of it.
So again, like, we need to just assume what these people mean exactly, but how to get out of the rat race, I would say, is becoming more aware. Like, that person asking that question, I would say, is potentially out of the rat race. But do they mean, like, how do I not work for someone else in a 9 to 5? Like, how are you taking that?
I've interpreted that as how to get out of the rat race, i.e. they're probably in some sort of 9 to 5 job or secure income job that they don't want to be in, because people have secure income jobs that they actually enjoy and they want to build and have a passion for. But this guy is asking how to find your passion, get out of the rat race, find your passion, and what steps to make a career out of that. I would say start to think about self-awareness and start to understand what you actually want. When people think about trying to find their passion, though, it's like they try to find what they actually physically do, they're passionate about. It just so happens I actually do have a passion for...
I wouldn't overcomplicate it though. Like, see if you actually think about what makes you feel genuinely happy. Like, see, even if it's like your friend comes to you and they're feeling a bit shit and you make them feel better and that is the best buzz that you get in your life. You've obviously got a passion for helping people. So think about what you're actually good at, what are your strengths. For example, I've got a client right now that's in like a 9 to 5 job, like the rat race, if you want to call it that. And I said to him, the way he speaks, right, and his like how philosophical he is and how deep he is and how well he can think and how well he can help people. I said, bro, like, you're meant for more than this job, and that your ability to like articulate words and sentences and allow your thoughts to become words better than most people I spoke to, and he's thinking deeply into how he can apply that to a passion and something he can make money from. Obviously, I'm assuming this person that's asking it, as you said, probably isn't a job they don't like.
Yeah,
probably is in the matrix.
Yeah, you cut me off, but I was gonna say that you don't need to be passionate about what it physically is that you're doing. Like, for example, I treat people and help people, and I have found a little passion in the satisfaction I get. But it's not really a passion in rubbing cunts. It's a passion in the outcome that I'm getting for my clients and stuff. So yeah, as Kale said, if you have a passion for helping people or a passion for just whatever, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit more simple than trying to find a specific fucking job role that you're passionate about. But how to get out of the rat race, right? I think you start to like increase levels of self-awareness, start to find a group of people that you can start to talk more productively on more better things about. Because I was speaking last night to a client about basically a conversation that she was having with someone versus what a conversation that I was having with one of the people in my network that are 8-figure earners. And we were talking about how, imagine the trajectory of your life and having those conversations compared to the next ones that I was having for the rest of your life. So yeah, I feel like getting out the rat race, you need to find people that want to get out of that kind of matrix rat race system and want to think for themselves also. And if you don't have that, then you're going to be in a little constant battle, try to fight against everyone you're around and trying to also get out of it as well. Like me and him, we have each other to go off. We also have a group of close boys that are all trying to do more outside of their income job if they have one, or really just trying to excel and optimize their fucking life in the gym and business and all that. So start to really upgrade your fucking mindset. That's a big part of it. You start to improve your perspective, whether that's through podcasts, audiobooks, really starting to go into self-development. finding a passion, obviously, you'll know the kind of sector you're maybe already in or know a little bit about. Like, I chose sports therapy because I knew about sports. I was interested in the human body. Just so happens that there's a business side to sports therapy that I was able to think about and utilize as well.
I'd say as well, before you ask the next question.
No, it's not. Steps to make a career out of it as well, though. Is what you're then going to choose able to be made a business out of? Is it something that, is there demand for what you're going to then look to serve people? Because it's a service or a product a business is comprised of. Is that service or product valuable enough to sell to people and to enough people at that? So there's a lot of questions, but if the person that's asked that is actually watching this, give us a wee message, we'll talk more.
If you provide value, you can definitely monetize it, like in any way, shape, or form. There's even, I'm not even going to get into the different ways because we could be sitting here talking about how you can monetize giving value, right? But
well, just describe quickly how you monetize the value you provide.
Well, obviously, I give a service that helps people completely change their life, and how I deliver that service is, well, like, logically and simply through WhatsApp, through weekly calls, through genuinely jumping on like Zoom calls every single week with clients. Like, I deliver it in a one-to-one capacity, but if you're not someone that wants to be a coach and work with people one-to-one, you can still provide people with content on like a school platform, for example, and start to monetize that and charge a subscription for the value you're giving out. So like, and that would be anything at all. Like, you could genuinely have a little niche market of helping people be more organized, and it's just all a wee school community about how you can optimize your productivity and stop procrastinating. There could be so many little things that you could be digging into. As I say, I don't want to sit in because we could just ramble on hundreds of shit, but I'd say like you're out the rat race as soon as you have a free thinking mind. Like, as soon as you have a free thinking mind, it's not controlled by everything that you see, and it's not based on everything that you consume, and you can actually have a conscious voice in your head. I think as soon as you've got a conscious voice, it's louder than your unconscious, you're definitely out of the rat race. Because if you're in the rat race, it is just living an automatic life with no direction and no control. So I think as soon as you can think freely, like the person that asked that question, I think they're probably starting to think freely. They're probably out the rat race. But if you're speaking purely 9-to-5 jobs, like we said there, think about things that you actually feel fulfilled by, and think about ways you can monetize it. I mean, it'd be hard for us to give you specific steps because there's so many ways that you could do it with so many different things.
Yeah, we can give context though. Like, the way I've monetized my value is I've developed enough of a routine in my treatment sessions that throughout the years of fucking research and knowledge building and stuff like that, that I've now strategized a little plan when you come in for treatment or with an injury, that I can take you from being injured to being uninjured and pain-free and moving better, fucking no pain, injury fixed, all that. The value that I can provide in that session is worth some sort of value back, and it just so happens that value exchange is the value I give, I'm getting money for. It's actually quite funny when we talk about that though. I've got a lot of people, like Jazz Brander Fitness, shout out to my boy. We do service for service where I go, he gives me his time, S&C work, strength and conditioning. I give him my time in treatment. And I do that with a couple other people as well. So it's just value for value. There's just a value exchange there. So it's not always just money, but to monetize value, typically, yeah, obviously.
A good tip for you if you want to find, like, how can you give value to someone? How can you then monetize it? A really good way that you can think about how you can give value, right? There's a past version of yourself, a younger version of yourself that had problems. And if you've overcame those problems, you would have had to use solutions, right? So see the solutions you gave yourself to solve the problems that you had. There's going to be millions of other people, thousands and thousands and thousands of other people with the same problems that need the same solution that you gave yourself. There we go. Like that is literally probably like one of the easiest ways to think about how you can monetize giving value to someone, literally.
Next question, how do I avoid procrastination? I'll answer that first. So I think when we think about what procrastination is, it's like almost avoiding what you know you need to do, for example, in a very fucking simple terms. First of all, how do I avoid procrastination, right? For example, say you need to sit down at a fucking desk somewhere and do work. And when you procrastinate, what do? You typically go on your fucking phone. So maybe you put your phone in the next room. Maybe you set a timer and know that for the next hour, all you're doing is that work. Do things that will hold you accountable to do the work you're trying to do and that you're procrastinating around. And because a lot of it is just the distractions around you. So we're in a house, me and Kyle consider moving multiple times based on there's fucking multiple dogs in the house barking. I'm sitting doing work, I hear fucking barking. It's like any little distractions that you can eliminate from your environment when you're trying to do the work and be productive will really decrease the amount of procrastination that you start to entail. Because when you think about procrastination, a lot of it is just avoiding the stress of the work you're trying to do. So what can you do to prevent that from happening? Distractions are one thing. Another thing is, as well, is like, why are you procrastinating? You need to ask yourself that. Like, is it because you don't want to do it? Is it not going to benefit you doing that? Like, if you're procrastinating around something, are you avoiding it because it's not good for you? Or are you avoiding it just because you're a fucking pussy and your emotional response to stress is shite?
Most of the time, it's the fear of moving forward.
So yeah, the fear of moving forward. And I actually combat that on a daily basis, but what overrides the procrastination is logic and purpose. I have a purpose that I need to fulfill. I've got memberships coming out. I'm moving forward with the business. I want to scale. I want to build a team this year. So all of that reinforces, and then I'm like, nah, I'm doing it. So have a purpose and a reason as to why not to procrastinate as well. Because a lot of people, when they procrastinate, they probably don't value the thing they need to do enough outside of the stress they need to endure. So it's another little point as well. It's like, is the pain of staying the same? Like, don't wait until the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. Just change and do the shit anyway. And staying the same could relate to procrastinating. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, well, the fear of moving forward is quite a cool perspective to take in, because you know when you do that thing and take one step in a better direction, you're going to have more things to do, because it's not logical that you're not going to have more responsibility and more things to do as you get further along the path of becoming better. So a lot of the time in life, like when we're procrastinating, it's actually more comfortable to stay where you are right now and not take as much action. So the fear of moving forward, it's not that you're scared, but it's just like you don't want to face that uncomfortable feeling or that uncomfortable scenario of having more responsibilities and more things to do when you're moving forward. One actionable tool that you can take away from this podcast to combat procrastination is the 2-minute rule, right? So when you're sitting down to do something, if you keep procrastinating, I need to clean the room, I need to go and do a shite, you're like procrastinating, distracting yourself. Give yourself 2 minutes, and after that 2 minutes of doing the thing that you need to do, you don't need to keep doing it. Right? So set a 2-minute stopwatch, right? Start the timer, start doing the thing that you've been procrastinating about doing for 2 minutes straight. You don't need to keep doing it after the 2 minutes is up. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to keep doing the thing that you've been procrastinating on. Because see, once you've been 2 minutes into it, you actually think, fucking, it's not actually that bad. It's actually just starting it or doing it initially that is the hard part. So if you give yourself 2 minutes with no obligation to keep going, this can work really, really well for you to stop procrastinating and just do the thing.
Sick. Next question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years is a fucking stretch, because if we look back a year or two, like the difference that we've fucking seen. So to be honest, right, if I'm using my imagination and my intuition, 10 years time, like everything that we think we are going to have, we're going to have more than that. Like I don't know how to explain that. Like fucking yachts, like I can't.
10 years, like if I've not got tens of millions, something tragically fucking bad has happened. So,
but then again, it could take longer. It could take
years,
shorter.
Mate,
but
you're mental.
10
fucking years of people we're meeting already, all this and that. Yeah. Nah, in fact, do you know what? I'll probably just be making my 12,570 every year. My below tax, I'll probably just aim for the 12,570 quid a year. I don't really want to make millions. Probably won't.
10 years though. 10 years is a fucking stretch, man.
Fuck that. I'm just going to stay on my 12,000 a year.
In reality though, right, if we're being serious, 10 years time, I've got the same boys around me, my twin brother, my younger brother, my close boys that I fucking love, call my brothers. I've got the girlfriend I've got right now. I've got her there. She'll be my wife at the time. Just really strong relationships that I've carried throughout my full life. And
it's fucked because you don't know that.
You don't know that, but
that's
how I see it. Visualize it. That's how I see it. And everything that I ever wanted financially, like the money, the cars, the fucking boats, the fucking opportunities, the options. But I also see myself being just as stressed out, having just as many things to do, just as much responsibility. I don't see me ever slowing down. Like when you get to, every level has a new devil. So as you get to a new level, you've got a new devil, a new challenge to face. I don't think in 10 years time we're going to be any less busy, any less stressed out, any less on the go. But we're going to be a lot more wealthy and a lot more connected around the world. I could see us being very big in terms of the influence that we could have as well, hundreds of thousands of followers and things like that. So just because of the brand that we're building and the people that we're meeting already at the age of 23, I think 10 years time, that's all quite realistic to think about.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Obviously, it's fucking really hard because I've only ever really logically tried to think 3 to 5 years into the future. So 10 years. It's a long time. Probably 10 years time, 33. I'm gonna have, this is what I aim to have, like multiple properties in multiple countries around the world. I don't want to be fixed in one place. A lot of people emotionally tie themselves to where they grew up, and it's like fucking cool. And I might change my mind, but right now I want to be able to move around. Not all the time, maybe a few months here, a few months there, 6 months here, whatever the fuck, or even just like a month out at a time, a week, whatever. But 10 years I want to have be able to be locationally free, multiple different places all around the world. Financially free, obviously, if I'm financially free right now, but yeah, 10 years I see myself living the life I fucking have always wanted to live. Let's put it that way.
100%. Locationally free, financially free. I wouldn't say freedom of time, I would to an extent, but like I really still I will be busy.
Time
I'll still be
freedom
busy as fuck.
Will be an option. Next question. How would I find a mentor, in brackets, in relation to what Lewis McFarlane was talking about on episode 5? It's all about obviously finding a mentor in your industry. So whether it's digital marketing, you're a PT, you're a fucking sports therapist, well, there's not really many of them. I'll be soon. It's just about trying to do research and finding like people with authority in your industry, and typically you'll begin to find potential mentors through that. It's a pretty simple question answered there.
What was the actual question?
How do you find a mentor?
How to find one?
Yeah.
How to find one? Well, it's not hard to find one, but how to actually choose one that suits you and is going to help you move forward. I'd say go with the person that you feel aligns with you personally. Like, is their personality aligned with how you fucking act, think, feel? Is that person genuine? Is that person authentic? You need to be careful when you're paying a mentor, because you can get people that are really good at selling to you, and they make you think that they're gonna like take over the world with you, help you make 10 grand a month and fucking 20 grand a month, and then you get 2 months into it and there's fuck all happening. So I'd say just go with someone that you feel is really authentic, and try to be aware of the selling points that they could be kind of trying to sell to you on, because that could be something that can make you jump into a mentorship, and then 2 months later you're getting fuck all from it, and you're thinking, I've just given this cunt £3,000 deposit.
Realistically though, anyone that's above you in your industry, you're going to learn something from. So just jump in and see what happens, mate. You lose 5 grand, you lose 5 grand. Money will always come back. Time never will, mate. So just take fucking action.
But it's just, I think you do need to be logical though, because I locked in with that mentor for 25 grand for the year. Paid him 3k deposit, lost the 3k deposit because I got a month in, hadn't signed the fucking terms and conditions. I said, mate, I don't want to do this. Sorry, mate, we can't give you your 3 grand back. So I just lost it. Then I went with Chris Bradley, and I've got a business that I fucking never even thought of having last year.
We got manipulated, man. You know who you are. Fuck's sake. Fucking hell, super nothing, man. What is the hardest injury / niggle to deal with? I'll answer that. Both your legs breaking clean backwards, or snapping your spine, or some sort of traumatic head injury that leaves your brain damaged and paralyzed from the neck down. Next question. Best way to invest your money?
I don't feel like I'm fucking... I don't think we've got the right to give...
From our experience, the best way to invest your money is in yourself.
Yeah, that's...
And you asked that, what do you mean by investing in yourself? Obviously mentors, courses, but not just that. Think outside the fucking box. Invest in yourself by paying to travel. And it sounds so stupid, but some of the wealthiest cunts I know in my network I speak to, and they say, bro, you're 23. Why are you caring about trying to get a nicer car and this and that? Spend money on life experience. Go and travel. Meet people. Build your fucking network. That's what I'm doing. Going to Tenerife every single month. Looking to branch into Dubai this year. Marbella, on and off with, but Dubai, Tenerife, build the fucking empire there. Thailand seems like a pretty cool place for the fighters, the network side of things like that. But yeah, Dubai, obviously the kind of second main one besides Tenerife, just because I've got a 2-year plan there and stuff, and more life in Tenerife in the next 2 years. Watch it.
It's and yourself, yeah, no, 100%. If you're thinking investments like fucking watches, whiskey, fucking crypto, all these things, like I wouldn't really give you advice on that. Like the advice me and Jack have evidence from giving us returns on is ourselves. Like the thousands of pounds we've spent on courses, the network that we've got, and the people we know, and the people we could just phone and speak to right now to get wisdom off of and get value from is purely from networking and investing in ourselves. So
obviously you want to go the complete opposite way and take a little gamble. I think heroin's a decent business to get into, because once you say you couple testers, put it out, a wee number along with that, and then bro, it's mad. The trap line just starts blinging, and then what's the ROI on that? Once the testers have done the run, you're gonna just be getting all the nitties phoning up the trap phone, and then
this is actually like a good podcast.
You can actually scale and build a team.
Talking about so it's like,
once you send the testers out, the phone number starts going off. It is just recurring income, because it's like the nitties until they die need the smack.
Right, okay, cool, right.
That's a good way, but that's obviously quite risky, and it's not something I would ever do. But yeah, that's the questions as of now. How long has it been? When did we start?
We started like 5 minutes. We got another question though that was asked. Was ask you first. What could you be doing better? What do you think you could be doing better?
I could be doing better with being more present, off the top of my head. What I mean by that is like just knowing I've got a task to do now and fucking doing it. I still find myself thinking into the future, planning into the future, and even just like digging up things from the past and amending that. Like I've got a million fucking tasks to do. I'm really still really trying to improve being present and knowing I've got a task to do now, so I'll just do that, as opposed to fucking jumping from that task to do now to, oh fuck, I've got this to do, that to do. So really trying to reinforce presence and dealing with the task at hand, I think, immediately is what I need to keep improving on. I'm getting better, but I'm so fucking anal when it comes to that shit. Really trying to make every second count. So off the top of my head, still to improve on becoming more present.
I'd agree to an extent as well. With me personally, I think another thing I need to like get better at, or something I need to get better at, is being able to really articulate, like, I can, but like when I'm put in a spot, for example, when I went to the Spain event, and I was like put in a spot to really articulate who I am, what I'm doing, and how I'm helping people, like to actually say it into words and like really know that and nail it. Like I know my coaching model, I know what I do, I know what my purpose is, I could write it down on a bit of paper and tell you, but like being able to really articulate who you are in a room full of strangers, like I think that's something that I want to get so good at, so there's never any like hesitation or fucking not saying what I want to say, because we are fucking good fucking people, what we're doing, the purpose that we've got, the places we are, from where we've came from, we've done really fucking well already, but I want to be able to portray that in a sentence without having to fucking question myself. Do you know what I mean? I want to get better articulating who I am and what the fuck I'm doing here.
Sick. One thing just to add back to, just before we finish off this episode, one thing I wanted to add quickly back to monetizing your value. See, as soon as you start your service or your product or your business and you start to see results, I think that's a really big thing to focus on. Give your work for free at the start. See when you can build evidence that your product or service is valuable and fucking works. That's all you really need. Third-party edification. You need reviews. You need fucking social proof that what you do works, and what you do works. And once that is the case, you genuinely will have people trying your shit out. And the more it works for more people, the more people come to you. I'm a living example of this. It's fucking insane. Literally in the last year, hypothetically, this isn't real numbers, but yeah, hundreds and hundreds of fucking clients in the last year. So when we think of that, a lot of these people come from another guy saying, oh yeah, he fixed my injury in a session. Oh, he done this. He done that. Oh, he's class, try that, blah, blah, blah. So the more you see results with your service for the people you're selling it to, or product, the more business you'll get. So really, really try to nail down on the results and the social proof of your shit working.
I'd also say as well, like expectations versus reality. So when you're going into it as well, when you're thinking about monetize, like right now, if you're earning £1,500 a month in Tesco and you want to monetize the value you can give to people, give people a solution for their problems, like have expectations that you're going to need to graft in that business for like 3, 4, 5 years before you're actually making good money. Like how many years have you been a fucking therapist for?
I know. Actually, thinking about it, I left in like 2019. Done a lot of volunteer work for football teams, started getting paid fucking 40 quid a week for like 3 days a week. Like really fucking slave labor, man. Like fucked up work. For a good year or so, and then worked into my own business, started 2020, COVID fucked that, was doing homers, different things outside of that, football teams, and then into a private gym for a couple of years, slaving away again. And yeah, it wasn't only until the start of 2023 it came to fruition and I started filling more slots than I typically would. So yeah, like what, fucking 4
years.
4 to now 5 years, I'm really starting to make the money I wanted to and then some. So
well, it's been 4 years it's taken us. People can do it quicker, obviously, but 4 years of grafting, trial and error.
And that's not even before that. We were in college for a couple of years and blah, blah, blah.
And we're only just now talking about like 6 figures, and people think that they can be earning 10k a month in no time. Like it does take longer than you fucking think. So you need to have expectations that are realistic so you're not disappointed. But I think that wraps up for the episode.
Well, just to quickly say as well, on Instagram you see all these fucking stories of people successful in Dubai, this and that, and you think, fuck, how they got this and that. You don't see the 5-6 fucking years that they've grafted behind the scenes, losing money, nearly fucking in such fucked up financial positions, that blah blah blah, the sacrifice to get to where they are now. You just see the end product. So yeah, if you're starting a business, make sure you know there's going to be a few years of fuck all before you really see what you want to see. See you in the next episode.